Hi there guys, I'm Chris Bowden and welcome to the Geek Group. We are here for the first time in our brand new Leonard Street Labs in wonderful Grand Rapids, Michigan, shooting our first equipment autopsy on the brand new set. So things aren't quite ready for prime time, but work with us and it gets better. You'll notice we have the adventure camera is out on the table because we don't have the second trolley system built yet, because we need to shoot a video on how to do that so that we can do a project video on it so that you can learn how to build one at home. Today's autopsy is going to be an Asus Eee 701 series that was donated specifically for autopsy use. The memory unit in it apparently died, so we'll get to that. We'll see if we can find anything weird with it. But yeah, we've got a new equipment autopsy set, and we've got an actual autopsy table to do it on. So, you know, this is awesome. We're having fun. So let's dig into this. Now, as with every laptop autopsy, it starts with removing the battery. So you pop out the little thing there, and that's locked, that's unlocked, that's locked, okay. We get that out. There we go. So there's our E battery. And now I'm just going to take off the cover because there should be memory under here. Now this would be the RAM. The 701 series doesn't use hard drives. They use flash RAM. Kind of like an iPad and stuff like that. A lot of modern things use flash memory. So if it goes bad, if it wears out, there's nothing to replace. Now, regular RAM lasts a lot longer and takes a lot more abuse, so this RAM's probably perfectly good. Let's see how big it is. There's a sticker of it. Get the sticker off, we'll get a look. Oh, there you go. It's 1 gigabyte of RAM, so we'll keep that. That'll be handy. I'll set that aside. So that goes in our keep pile. Now let's dig into this. Is that all of them? Looks like all of them. Asus uses blue Loctite. Okay. There's our screws. That's that. Now we're down into snaps probably, because all the screws are off. Yep. You just pop a seam, work your way around, is the typical solution. Yeah, I don't see anything over here. Oh, it's making expensive noises. It feels like there's a screw over here, but I don't see one. Let's look under the lerf, because as we've learned in the past, it's pretty common for there to be a screw hidden under the little rubber feet. No, I don't see anything under that one. I don't see anything under that one, so those are clean. Nothing under there. It's just really serious snaps from the looks of it. They're proud of their snaps. Now, I'm not doing this as gently as you would if you wanted to put it back together again, but the whole idea here is an autopsy, so we can carve right into it without any fear. Because if we permanently break it, well, that's okay, because by the time we're done, it'll certainly be permanently broke. Now, let's see what we got. We've got the little touchpad right there, the button, and on the back you can see the connector, various bits, some shielding and stuff. I don't really know what's under there, it just looks like padding. So we don't need that. Now we'll pop this out. What holds you in? Hope, that's it. There's our keyboard. That really wants to be mounted in the center of my steering wheel. That's just cool. A lot of gunge. Look at this filthy computer. There we go. We've got some screws. So we'll take out the screws that cover the keyboard tray. I got Lerf gunge. Now this is kind of cool. We've gotten all the way to this level into the machine. And to get the keyboard tray out, I have to remove a sticker. Now we're already like really thoroughly into the machine. There isn't a whole lot to this. It's a very simple netbook, but if you look right there, that's our warranty void sticker. So at this moment, this glorious moment, we've now broken the warranty. Yay. It's the point of no turning back, but you know that whole warranty void of seal broken or removed? That's just a challenge. Now we'll pop that. And there's a little jumper cable that feeds off to here. So get rid of all those screws, and we don't need that either. So now we're down into it, so we can take a look. We've got 3 big chips. You've got that one, and it's kind of paste. It's thermal tape, really. So we're just going to scrape that off with something convenient, like the cover. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to grab a paper towel and wipe that off, and we'll see if we can get a look at it. I had some Windex around here somewhere, but I don't see it handy. But I've got an alcohol lamp, so that'll work. Here. Oh, we've got Windex. Okay. See, I was going to get creative and just use the alcohol lamp. There. Ooh. Intel, deep buried inside, but Intel inside. All right, so well, it cleaned it off, but it also took off enough of the labeling that you can't read it, but there's the chip. So we've also got a big chip here and a little chip here. This is labeled, it's an Intel 2003 7544 B9er 69er SL7QX. So there's the CPU chip right there, and you can see on the bottom of the top label it's labeled 900/512, which I'm going to guess means 900 megahertz at 512 kilobytes of on-die RAM, or cache. And that's the CPU. The rest will be graphics and Northbridge, probably. So let's dig in deeper. I'm not going to tear into the top because the top is just the screen and speakers and maybe a Wi-Fi antenna. Okay, I'll tear into the top. Let's get that screw out. What holds this together? There can't be a whole lot holding it down in there. Maybe I can just pop it out at this point. Can I? Will you just pop out? Yes, there's a couple little snap hooks. That's it. There's really not a whole lot to hold it in there. It's pretty much just a single board computer. It went in there, it'll come out. All right, now we've got 2 big connectors here. We've got our power connector there. And over on this side, we've got that'll be the video connector out to the screen. And then we've got, down on the bottom, we've got a fan connector going out. It comes out here. And then off the bottom, we've got, these will be antenna connectors for the Wi-Fi, so we'll just pop those right off. And the Wi-Fi antenna is in the lid, as it is in most laptops. Now let's take a good look. This right here, that is an E701. That's pretty much the whole thing right there. That's a whole computer. Now we've got, this was our RAM slot here. Now over here we've got the BIOS battery, which we don't need anymore. Yay, firecrackers. Fire. All right, we can get rid of that. Save that for later because the 4th of July is coming soon. Now, let's get some of the stickers out of the way so we can really get a look down in here. Always with tape, always with tape. All right, now down right here, that is our microphone. So we can get that off. All right, so there's the top of the board. There's the bottom. Now, looking at the top, we've got our processor and probably graphics. Either that or that'll be graphics. One will be graphics, one will be the North Bridge. And then over here, we've got our SD card slot, a pair of USB ports, video out. Over on this end, we've got audio I/O, another USB port, Ethernet, and modem. And given that modem's blocked in, I'm guessing modem wasn't actually installed on here. On the back, this is our wireless card, our Wi-Fi card. And you can see that's removable. In fact, I can pop that off. And this could, in theory, go into another laptop because it's a common card slot. I'm sure it has a name. I think it's like mini PCI or something like that. But there's a name for it. I honestly don't know it off the top of my head. But that right there is for anybody looking to hack it for maybe doing some interesting Wi-Fi work or war driving, there's all your information. It's an Azure Wave Wi-Fi card. It's PCI Express mini card. That's what they call them. So we're saving that. Now, here's where your RAM goes. Now, this is your hard drive. These right here, which are probably like, I don't know, maybe this had 4 gig of hard drive space, but each one of those would be a 1 gig chip. And there's your controller chip for it there. So there really isn't all that much to it. It's so simple. It's just one board. I mean, look at that. That's easy to manufacture. And they make a boatload of them. So that's a look in there. Let's take a quick look in the top. We'll just pop the bezel off. Now, I don't know if it's bezel or bezel, but what I'm guessing is that in America it's bezel, and in England it's bezel, because that just seems to be the kind of way they would say it on that side of the pond. I don't know, but I'm sure no less than 500 people are all happy to yell at me and comment and tell me the many ways in which I talk funny. But you know, I'm okay with that. So now, how do we tear into this? I think it's time to get out a weapon. I think. Now see, normally, at this point, I'm over here. Normally at this point, I would reach and do the Gerber Ninja thing. However, it wasn't enough that my Gerber had lost the straight blade screwdriver back in 2001. My Gerber has now, just in the past week, lost the knife as well. I was picking a lock with it, and, well, it gave up the ghost. So let's see if I can get in here with the can opener on my Gerber. But I think it's time for a new Gerber. It's time to upgrade. I've had the same Gerber for, well, since 2001. I think 2001. Yeah, because I broke it when I first got it. So it's time for a new Gerber. Maybe it's time to get Gerber as a sponsor. Okay, now I got to wedge this with my arm, get that tool in there, get that open. There, these are very, very seriously built. Somebody really did not want me in there. Oh, hang on. Oh yeah, I did a bad thing. Okay, well, you can pop these little rubber things here. I didn't notice them at first, but there's these little rubber things. You pop those out, and there's screws behind them. And I'll bet if I just take those screws out, that whole bezel comes right off. Yep. I was doing it with brute force and ignorance, but I learned halfway through and made it all better. Now, I don't see any more, so I'm going to assume that just pops off the rest of the way. Let's find out. Yep. It's very rubbery. It's very bendy plastic, so it'll take a lot of abuse. Now, in here we've got 2 speakers, which you know those were there because you could see them behind the grills. We've got a little wire down here that feeds power over, and that speaker. And, oh no, the red is the right speaker, so it's just set off like that. So let's take this apart real quick. I'm going to take the board out. We've got a very tiny LCD. Because it's a 700 series, it's a 7-inch LCD. That's how they number the Asus Ees. There's a 700 series, and I think there's a 900 series, and then there's the 10 series. And now they're bigger now, but back when this came out, it was 7, 9, and 10. And the 700s were a 7-inch LCD, 9s were a 9-inch, and the 10 is the 10-inch LCD. My personally is a 10, but I want a 7. They're really cute. Now look at that, look at that, tiny little LCD, and it's got the controllers all there, video feed. Its power has to come in on a video feed. I don't see a separate power plug. You can look. I don't see a separate power plug at all. It's right there. So that could be useful. We could actually probably get that up and running. We'll save that in our keep pile. Now we've just got the speakers here, and these are the Wi-Fi feeds. Now this is kind of cool. Take a look. You can see those two things right there. Those are the Wi-Fi antennas. So I'll pop one out and let you get a look at it, but these are kind of cool because this is not what most people are thinking when they think antenna. They're really, really simple. It might not even come out like that. I'm gonna see if I can peel it out because they're glued in place. All our ham radio members are like, oh yeah, that's a Wi-Fi antenna, totally. But a lot of Wi-Fi antennas that you see built into laptops, like especially laptops. Laptops are almost always in the screen. Just look like this. The little PCM CIA card adapters have similar antennas. I don't think this is going to come out intact. I think I'm going to kill it in the process. There's a very serious piece of tape holding it in there, but I'm going to do what I can to get it all out. Okay, there we go. Okay, now bend it flat so it looks like it did. This is so cool. Okay, now look at that. Here, come here. Look at that. There's your antenna. It's just a funny shaped piece of metal. And they do that because it has to be tuned to resonate at specific frequencies. Like this is Wi-Fi, so it's going to be up in the gigahertz range. There you go. See, it's kind of cool. And we got another one of those in there, but I'm not going to fight to get it out. Let's get the speakers out. If they'll pop right out. Sometimes they do. There we go. Look at that. It's happy to be out of there. Born free. There, happy little speakers. They're out. Cool. All right, and that's that. And now we've got the speakers, and I get this and some super glue, and next time Corey's sleeping in late, I can probably have some fun. Maybe just some caulk, I think. Just, he totally wouldn't notice. Corey will sleep right through that. And pull that whole Back to the Future thing on him. Except I'll do it with Justice, and he'll wake up and think he's in a gay bar. Oh, it'll be great. So that is your equipment autopsy on the Asus E701, and now if you perhaps want to do some hacking and tweak your Asus Eee, you know how to take it apart, and with any luck, you can put yours back together again. So, thank you for hanging out with me and exploring inside a netbook computer here at the Geek Group. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. You can learn more about the Geek Group at www.thegeekgroup.org. Get involved, be a member, and come down here and use this. This is here in our lab, waiting for you to come along with a project and do something interesting. And the first member who does come down and picks this up and says, hey, I got a project and wants to build something out of it, we'll just give it to you and let you have fun, and we'll do a video on your project. So this could be your screen on your robot or your musical Tesla coil or your CNC project or whatever. I have no idea, but you do. Come on down and be a part of it. I'm Chris Bowden. I'll see you next time.
This video was made possible by a grant from the Future Girl Foundation.
This video was made possible by thousands of private donations from members and viewers like you. Please visit thegeekgroup.org for more information on how you can donate and become a part of our dreams of Avalon.